Hi students, good evening. Welcome to this video session. My name is Samuel Dominic Chukwuemeka, aka Sam Dom for Peace. In this video session, we shall discuss your Module 6 homework study guide. So this is a study guide that will help you in your Module 6 homework assignment. It is highly recommended that before you continue with this video, that you have viewed all the videos in the video playlist on relations and functions. Okay, the videos in the video playlist on relations and functions is highly recommended that you have viewed those videos. Okay, because it's expected that you have the basic idea. Question 1. We have two sets here. We have two sets. A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. A is 1, 3, 7, 10, 12. Okay. Then B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So B is love, peace. These are the two things we need. The two things we need most right now. Love and peace. Love, peace, joy, hope, charity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And forgiveness. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the question says here, A, this question 1. A, define a relation R from A to B that is a function and contains at least 4 ordered pairs. Define a relation R from A to B. So the relation is from A to B. Okay? Define a relation R from A to B that is a function and contains at least 4 ordered pairs. So remember, with a function, the relation is a set. So you use the braces. Now with a function, every input has a unique output. Okay, each input has a unique output. Two students can make the same grade in a test. Okay, but a student cannot make 2 different grades. It's not possible. A student cannot make 2 different grades. That is with a function. So the first one, this is a relation from A to B. Relation from A to B. So the first guy, the domain will be from A and the range will be from B. And we shall put them in ordered pairs as a set of ordered pairs. That is the definition of a relation anyway, set of ordered pairs. So remember, each input, the input is the A and the output is the B. Each input will have a unique output. Now, when we come to 1, 2, 1 function, then each input has a different output. You cannot have an input, 2 inputs with the same output. No. Okay, 1, 2, 1 function. But with a function, just make sure that every input has a unique output. Okay, in other words, you can't have an input that has 2 different outputs. Now you can have two different inputs with the same output. I usually explain it this way. Two people can make the same grade on a test. Okay, but a person cannot make two different grades on the same test. So you could have two inputs with the same output, but you cannot have one input with two different outputs. Our inputs, because the relation is defined from A to B, the elements of A will be our input, while the elements of set B will be our output. Okay? Yeah. In this case, I will just write it as a 1-2-1 function. Okay? Now, in this case, I will just write it as a 1-2-1 function. And they say at least 4 ordered pairs. So I can say 1, you now put parentheses 1 comma love. You can have 3 comma peace. You can have 7 comma joy. You can have 10 comma hope. 10 comma hope. They say at least 4 ordered pairs. So you can stop here. At least 4 means 4 or more. Okay. You can have 12 comma charity. So yeah, this is a 1-2-1 function. Each input has a different output. Now, but you can still have 3 comma love. You can still have 3 comma love. 3 and love. You can, because it's two inputs having the same output. You know, love is the output of 1. Love can also be the output of 3. The only thing you cannot have is 1 comma love, 1 love, and then 1 peace. You cannot have that. You cannot have an input having 2 different outputs. No. You cannot have that in a function. A function will be each input has a unique output. Okay. Now a 1-2-1 function will be each input has a different output, just like I wrote. Then B, it says what is the domain of this function? The domain of this function, the domain would be, of course the domain is a set. So the domain will just be 1, 3, 7, 10, 12. That is the domain. And then C, it says, what is the range of this function? The range is also a set. You put it in using braces. The range will be love, peace, joy, hope, charity. That is the range. That's it. Okay? Question 1. That is end of question 1. Question 2. Define functions f arrow from arrow to arrow, okay, and g from reals to reals. Okay, we have 2 functions. Define functions f and g. Define functions f and g from reals to reals. Okay, and G also from reals to reals. Real numbers. By, okay, this is the definition. F of A is 3 plus A. Okay? And then G of B is is 5B minus 3. 5B minus 3. Okay? 5B minus 3. F of A is 3 plus A. G of B is 5B minus 3. Then it says Find the following, showing the steps to get to your solution. You have to show your work. So fog and Goff, fog and Goff, fog and Goff. So find fog, f of g, f composed with g of 1, b Goff, g composed with f of 1, c fog of x, fog x, and then Goff, g composed with f of x. Okay? That's question 2. Fog and Goff. Composition of functions. We did that. Okay? It's in the video on relations and functions. Composition of functions. Fog and Goff. So here, let's go ahead first and find, I'm gonna do C and D first, because if I do C and D, you can do this two ways. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and do C and D first. Okay, then I would use that way and do A and B, or I can show you another way, another method of doing A and B. You can do A and B using 2 methods, and I will teach you those 2 methods. I will show you those 2 methods. Okay, but the first method, let's go ahead and do this. First method, let's go ahead and do that of the variable. It's easier. Fog of x, f composed with g of x. This means f of g of x. That is what it means. And this will be, okay, f of, now we have g of b. We have g of b to be 5b minus 3. So g of x will be 5x minus 3. So this will be, because this fog x means f is outer, g is inner. So this will be f of 5x minus 3. Okay? Now, but f of a is 3 plus a. Okay? So f of x will be 3 plus x. Now, f of 5x minus 3 will now be, anywhere you see, f of 5x minus 3 means anywhere you see x, you put 5x minus 3. That is what it means. Anywhere you see x, you put 5x minus 3. So this will be 3 plus, you put parentheses, 5x minus 3. Okay, so this will give us 3 plus 5x minus 3. And this will give us 3 plus 5x minus 3. And this will give us just 5x. 5x. Okay? Because 3 minus 3 is 0. Now what if we do Goff of x? So this means that g is outer. G of f of x. So this will be g of f of x is 3 plus x. G of 3 plus x. Now we see from here that g of x is 5x minus 3. So g of 3 plus x would be, anywhere we see x, we put 3 plus x. Anywhere we see x, we put 3 plus x. Okay? So this will be 5 times 3 plus x minus 3. That is what it means. So this will be 5 times 3 plus x minus 3. And that will give us, we distribute 15 plus 5x minus 3. And that will give us 5x plus 12. 5x plus 12. That gives us 5x plus 12. Because 15 minus 3 is 12. Alright, now I can find A and B, fog of 1 and gulf of 1 easily, you know. I can now do that. So if I want to find now fog of 1, okay, fog of 1. Now fog of x first give me 5x. So fog of 1 is just 5 times 1, which is 5. Wherever I have x, I replace with 1. So that's 5 times 1, which is 5. Okay. Now the gulf of x gave me 5x plus 12. So gulf of 1 will be 5 times 1 plus 12. And that is 5 plus 12. And that is 17. So I have 5 and I have 17. And these are my answers. Okay. I can also do A and B without having to first of all do C and D. And you know, I can call, if you want, I can call that second method. You know, I can show you what I mean. So if we have, let me write second method here. So if I have fog of 1, so this means f of g of 1. That's what it means. That is what it means. And if you say it's the same thing but written differently, that's fine, if you want to say it that way. But in this case, I'll first of all find g of 1, and then I'll find f of that. That's what I'll do. Okay, so I'll first of all find g of 1, and then I'll find f of that. So let me show you here. Now, our g of x is 5x minus 3. So g of 1, anywhere you see x, you put 1. So this is 5 times 1 minus 3, which is 5 minus 3, which is 2. Okay, so this is f of 2. F of 2. Then, my f of x is, let me write it down here because I will need this. My f of x is 3 plus x. So my f of 2 will be 3 plus 2, which is 5. Okay, so f of 2 is just 3 plus 2, which is 5. And that is what we got here. You know, that is what we got. The same thing here. 5. So, then if you are doing gulf of 1, so this means g is outer, g composed with f of x, f of 1. Okay, g is outer, f is inner. So, we find f of 1. So, f of 1 will give me 3 plus 1, which is 4. So, this means g of 4. G of 4. Okay? You see, I'm showing all my work. Now, g of 4, anywhere we see x here, we put 4. G of 4 will be 5 times 4 minus 3. And that is 15 minus 3, which is 12. G of 4 is, 5 times 4, 20. Don't mind me. 5 times 4, 20 minus 3, which is 17. Okay? Which is 17. Showing all my work. And that's it. So it depends which way you like. And if they asked you this 4, like they did here, I would just use the first method and just, do it. Okay. I think this is the first 2 questions. Let's stop here for tonight, please. Let's stop here for tonight. And watch out for part 2. Okay? And possibly part 3 too. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. If it's not part 2 or part 3, then it will be listed under some topics, different topics. So even if it's not part 2, just know I did it as a topic. and then I put it on that playlist. So anything you see under that playlist on module study guide for your module homework and exam study guide, anything you see under that playlist means it is for you. Okay, so even if I don't call it part 2, or even if I don't call it this, that means I did it as a topic and put it under the playlist. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much for listening, and you have a good evening.